Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Mind Map. Today's topic of discussion is role of education in awakening national consciousness. First of all, we will look into the introduction to education in colonial India. Then we will discuss about early educational institutions, emergence of English educated Indian middle class, role of press and literature, and lastly conclusion. First of all, let's have a look at introduction to education in colonial India. The British aimed to create a complaint English-speaking Indian elite to assist in governance. This policy involved the promotion of Western education and values, which were seen as superior to traditional Indian education systems. Thomas Macaulay's Minute argued for the introduction of English as the medium of instruction in Indian schools and universities. He believed that Western education was essential for the intellectual development of Indians and for creating a class that would be loyal to the British. The primary objective was to educate a small segment of the population who could assist in administration. This system was not designed for mass education but was intended to produce a class of intermediaries between the British and the Indian masses. Now moving on to early educational institutions. Modern education began in India under British rule. Before the British, India had its own educational systems like the Gurukuls and madrasas. They also wanted to understand the local customs and laws well. For this purpose, Warren Hastings established the Calcutta Madrasa in 1781 for the teaching of Muslim law. In 1791, a Sanskrit college was started in Varanasi by Jonathan Duncan for the study of Hindu philosophy and laws. The foundation of universities in Bombay, now Mumbai, Calcutta, now Kolkata, and Madras, now Chennai, marked the beginning of formal higher education under British rule. These institutions, modeled after British universities, were crucial in shaping a new generation of Indian thinkers. These institutions focused on Western curricula and were instrumental in creating an English-educated elite. Missionaries played a significant role in the spread of education, particularly in English and the sciences. They established schools and colleges, which also served as centers for religious conversion. Figures like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and Jyotirao Phule advocated for education as a means for social reform. They established schools and colleges promoting education among women and lower caste. Now let's discuss about emergence of English-educated Indian middle class. The English-educated class emerged as a new social group that played a pivotal role in early Indian nationalism. This class was characterized by its exposure to European political philosophy and modern education. The Western-educated elite began to question traditional customs and colonial rule. They became instrumental in intellectual discussions and social movements. Exposure to ideas of democracy, liberty, and nationalism led this class to press for social and political reforms in India. They played a crucial role in the initial stages of the Indian nationalist movement. Indian social reformers and nationalists responded to British educational initiatives by setting up their own institutions. Leaders like Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Dadabhai Nauroji, and others, educated in the Western tradition, started advocating for self-rule and reforms in India. Now let's discuss about role of press and literature. The Indian press and literary circles played an instrumental role in spreading nationalist ideas. Newspapers and journals became platforms for political debate and criticism of colonial policies. Literature, both in English and regional languages, became a vehicle for expressing nationalist sentiments and mobilizing public opinion against colonial rule. Newspapers like Kesari, Amrit Bazar Patrika, and literary works played a crucial role in spreading nationalist sentiment. They criticized British policies and motivated Indians to aspire for independence. Literature and journalism were used as tools to inspire a sense of national identity and unity among the diverse population of India. Writers and poets like Rabindranath Tagore, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, and Subramania Bharati used their literary talents to invoke a sense of patriotism and national consciousness. Now lastly, moving on to conclusion, the introduction of Western education, while initially aimed at consolidating colonial control, paradoxically ignited a spirit of nationalism among Indians. Education became a powerful tool in the Indian struggle for independence. The Western education system introduced by the British unintentionally sowed the seeds of nationalism and social reform in India. It played a pivotal role in the development of a national consciousness that was crucial to the Indian independence movement. The legacy of this period in education continues to influence modern Indian society. The awakening of national consciousness through education laid the foundation for India's struggle for independence and subsequent development as a nation. Now it's time for the practice question. First of all, prelims based question. Who was responsible for the introduction of English education in India as per the guidelines laid down in the famous Minute of 1835? Lord William Bentinck, Lord Dalhousie, Thomas Babington Macaulay, or Lord Curzon? And now mains question. Analyze the dual route of education introduced by the British in India in shaping the national consciousness and the Indian freedom struggle. Discuss how the Western education system aimed initially at consolidating colonial control inadvertently became a catalyst for Indian nationalism. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.